Attention
welcome.
duelists. Welcome
Attention,
to the virtual
duelists.
world.
Welcome to the retelling of the Holy Bible at Noah's
Can you
Ark.
say
Welcome to
filler?
Filler Town, population Noah.
Yeah,
Oh,
welcome.
Filler?
Welcome.
I hardly know her.
Welcome.
Oh,
So
damn
when
it.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Decided to interrupt Battle City to retell the Season 0 over again. But for the first time,
How ridiculous this arc is.
this is...
I kind of like it though. Like
No, I love it.
I hate that it interrupted Battle City. I understand why it interrupted Battle City because it was at this point that the anime caught up with the production of the manga and
Yep.
they needed to pull a One Piece.
This was made because they needed a filler arc,
Yeah.
and it's a very perplexing idea for a filler arc.
As I was saying though, I hate that it interrupted Battle City, even though I understand why it did. But I like the arc as it is. If it was in a different spot, I would have accepted it.
Yeah. Now, generally people hate this arc primarily because people back in the day, people would have to watch this shit one episode a week at best.
Yep.
And it would go,
Yeah.
When I was young, I thought they spent fucking weeks in that fucking virtual world. Apparently they were only in there a few hours!
Oh.
I'm looking it up on the wiki now. Apparently it started airing in November 2003, and they got done with the filler arc in April 2004. So that's a good, half a year.
Ishizu refers to the episode before the season started as last night!
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Oh.
I'm just trying to think, spoilers, Merrick just stays on the ship despite Noah calling out all the duelists. I guess he just sits there for a few hours and then is just like, you know what, I'm bored, time to break shit.
That is literally what he says.
So I think, so when they got to this place, Merrick was all like, I am so excited for the chaos that I can smell it! And then he just forgets to show up when Noah does roll call. He's like, and then I guess a few hours go by, Merrick realizes, oh fuck, I forgot to actually show up! Damn it!
Oh, fuck, I forgot I wasn't shoddy for a second.
Basically, I think Merrick genuinely wanted to participate. He just kind of forgot.
He was too busy brooding.
Kinda. Holy shit!
Yeah.
It's great.
To set up what happens here. So the crew, they're flying along in their blimp on their way to Alcatraz, when suddenly they get freaking, tractor beamed into this underwater fortress-looking thing.
They're flying along on their blimp to Alcatraz when they get tractor beamed onto an underwater helicarrier.
Yes. That makes sense.
That's really what happens.
And then...
And
then
inside
Season 0 Kaiba just appears on the monitor and says, Hey!
Sup, fuckers?
Yeah,
Hey,
so this is Noah,
I'm back,
who...
bitches! I'm back, bitches!
This is Noah, the unsubtly named Noah, and he looks a lot like Season 0 Kaiba, a nice callback, and he also acts a lot like Season 0 Kaiba, in that he just wants to murder people.
And Mokuba constantly says he looks just like my brother used to.
Yeah, even though in this continuity, Sato is only ever shown looking like he currently does. So
it is purely metatextual. Even in the in flashbacks, the real Sato doesn't look like he did in Season 0 because he was already this kind of pseudo-adult thing in season 0. You know how it was.
Yeah.
But like,
We
he
know.
doesn't even look like Noah when he was Noah's age. But so basically, Mokuba is just breaking the fourth wall whenever he says that about Noah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we also get reintroduced to the Big Five of Kaiba Corp.
Just
They're
show
back.
up.
Asshole.
Apparently,
Yep.
apparently Noah. So apparently they were just kind of trapped in the virtual world after they jacked into the Matrix to summon a dragon. Apparently they needed to jack into the Matrix to summon a dragon.
And
Yes.
somehow losing trapped them there inexplicably. The whole thing doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's because if you
being
die
honest.
if you die in the game, you die in real life. And they didn't.
That's retarded.
and
Why
they
would
didn't-
they do that to themselves?
Arrogance.
Wow.
In real life, these kind of villains are just kind of arrogant. So
Yeah.
that's whenever anyone complains about a character doing something stupid like that. Yeah, it's just what they do. We can't
And
really
yeah,
be surprised
Anyway-
at this point.
That Noah was just hanging out on the Kaiba Corp servers and bumped into them, I guess, and said, "Hey, you
Yeah,
want to go on a freaking submarine ride?"
Yeah, so
Hey, I want to kill Kaiba. You guys want to kill Kaiba? It's all great. Let's all kill Kaiba.
I thought the reason Noah was I always thought the reason Noah was pissed for all this time for years and years. I thought it was because he wasn't connected to the internet, so he was just alone all this time. No, apparently the Kaiba Corp internet server, whatever, is just connected to this underwater fortress, and Noah. I mean, I guess social media wasn't really good back then, so maybe that's why Noah was lonely.
Why don't you go find Kaiba's MySpace? What would he do?
I don't even think MySpace was a thing. This was the 90s.
Well, yeah, technically this takes place in 1996.
Yeah,
Just
according
FYI
to the wiki, Dark Side of Dimensions doesn't even take place after the 90s.
No, yeah, that's still 1996.
Which is especially confusing because there is a character who definitely has a smartphone.
Well, no, wait. No, that is 1998, sorry.
Yep, and that is really
Dimensions.
confusing because there is a character who definitely has a smartphone.
Huh.
But regardless of all
Invented
We'll
by
get
that...
to it when we get to it!
Yeah, Kaiba Corp. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I
yeah.
think if Noah had been trapped in the internet in the 2010s, I don't think he would be.
Would've
I
been
don't think he would be
fascinated by...
I don't think he would be so
numerous
batshit insane. Or maybe he'd be.
He would have been obsessed with cat memes.
Oh yeah, he didn't even have a cat in the virtual world. He just had one good doggo.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're getting way off track. So the big boys, they're big, and they get real big, and then they say, "Hey, you gotta play card games," and then everyone's
If
all
you
like,
beat us in
"Oh
our
no, card
dueling-"
games! We hate playing those."
And then they're like, if you beat us in a duel, if we beat you in a duel, we steal your body and escape the virtual world with your body. But if you win, nothing of consequence happens. So you just kind of don't want to lose because you die. There's
Yeah,
no
pretty
real
much.
reward for winning other than living.
Yep, and then for no reason whatsoever, they don't bring them into the virtual world right away. They show them a tutorial of a hologram of Season 1 Kaiba dueling against one of my favorite cards.
That's in the virtual world.
Apparently
Yeah, they're
not,
already
though.
in the virtual world.
No, apparently this is holograms, and after this they're knocked out and put into the real virtual world.
Yeah.
Because they can't touch the flowers.
Oh yeah, that's right!
But after they get
Oh
to the
my
virtual,
god!
but after they get to the virtual world, there is a very real possibility of Taya being molested and eaten by cyclopses.
So wait, if
Yes,
that wasn't in the virtual world, then how did they go through the fucking Alice in Wonderland acid tunnel?
Oh no, that
Well,
was
that
when
was
they
after.
were not that part was just them being knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, the
Wasn't
first
that
part-
before they got the tutorial?
Okay. No.
Tutorials before that.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah,
This
so
whole thing is
the,
stupid.
the introduction cutscene happened in a holodeck, and then after the presentation was over, neurotoxins entered the holodeck, and they were knocked unconscious and put in matrix pods.
Yes.
Anyway,
and speaking
Total
of
Defense Shogun.
neurotoxin,
Total Defense Shogun is really cool, and this is the only time we ever see that card ever.
rip.
Yes. So basically, we get the explanation. Dueling in this filler arc basically is the exact same as normal, except you get to pick a deck master, and your deck master is always by your side, and he has a special ability that you can use whenever the fuck you want.
It's your
stand,
Masters.
Yes, and if he dies, you die. So you don't want him to die.
It's literally your stand.
And that's it. You can summon him whenever you want as well.
I
It's
like that
basically
concept.
Commander.
Okay,
It's
here's the
basically
thing.
Commander and Yu-Gi-Oh.
When the deck master dies, you die, except when you don't.
Yeah.
Because there's one battle near the end
Mhm.
where like Yugi and Joey are dual battling
Yep.
someone. We'll get to it when we get there. And they sacrifice they tribute both their deck masters to make one new monster. Which theoretically should kill them, because
That's
both
not
of those deck masters are sent to the graveyard.
Not even the first time that's happened in this season.
Okay,
I'm
the thing with
guessing-
that is that they say that if you like sacrifice your deck master for a stronger monster, then that still counts. But
Yep.
what happens after that is that their fused combined deck master straight up gets killed, and then they just carry on.
I think what...
Yeah,
And then it
it's
resummons
strange.
their original deck masters.
So I think...
Yeah.
No. That part was Mirror Knight's effect.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, when he dies, he brings them back.
Yeah, I think what happens is if the effect of the card brings out another monster when it dies, then that becomes your deck master
Well,
instead
that's
of you
stupid.
dying.
Yeah.
But okay.
No,
That
the
is
whole,
stupid
the
and
whole thing is
inconsistent.
stupid.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do like this deck master idea, and I wish they would print cards that did that
Yep.
so we could have a format like
Oh,
that.
they did it.
But
They
no,
did
have
it.
never
it
It's
in
happened.
called
Duel
Speed
Links,
Duels.
almost but not quite.
Yeah, apparently Duel Links has the skills feature, which lets you just pick a thing and it do. There's
Neat.
even one that's explicitly called a deck master ability and lets you draw a specific card whenever you want at the cost of if it dies you die. But for some reason it's actually a card that was never played as a deck master in this. So I don't know if that even counts as a reference to season 3.
Fair enough.
It's weird.
I do like the deckmaster system in general, but there is one glaring flaw which I noticed towards the end, and if I went back and watched the earlier episodes, I'd probably notice it way more. Is that
Yeah.
there are numerous times where a player is almost winning, like they've got the enemy right on the ropes, and all they
Then
have
they
to
summon
do
their deck
is summon
master?
their. All they have to do is summon their deckmaster and attack them, but they just don't.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's really annoying in the last couple battles.
I got this a lot in when I'm playing in card game in Duel Links. I forget what my cards do a lot because I'm stupid. I play a Joey deck. Apparently, that's the most consistent deck I have, and one of his monsters can change battle position at the end of the turn, so that it can both attack and be in defense mode by the end of the turn. I keep forgetting that I can take it out of defense mode, attack, and then put it back in defense mode. I keep forgetting to do that. And a couple minutes ago, I was playing Duel Links, and I would have won if I had remembered to do that, but I forgot, so I ended up losing.
wow.
Yeah.
Rip.
Anyway,
What does that have to do with this?
basically,
Maybe they just forget.
people just forget. They just forget that they can summon their deck masters as a free monster, so they can win. They just forget because there's a lot. There's a lot to keep track of in regular Duel Monsters. Adding a new mechanic just makes everything worse.
Anyway,
They have to literally
so-
ask their deck masters what they do.
Yes, they do.
Anyway,
Several times that happens.
Kaiba is pissed. He's like, God damn it! I mean, I don't want to be in a filler arc. Why are we playing like this?
I'm sorry. Can you imagine if you could have spell cards as a deck master and just have fucking Pot of Greed as a deck master? Everybody would have to perpetually ask
Imagine if you do the Pot of Greed, you use the avatar of the pot as your deck master.
Oh shit. Joe, I don't think they know about Avatar of the Pot.
Well, you're gonna slap it in so everyone can see. Get the uncensored version.
I'm gonna get it. What are we called? What's our group?
The avatar of the pot.
What's our group called? The tag. Oh, there it is. Okay, where am I? I've activated my tripod. There we go. There it is, everybody.
It's a new deck master.
Oh.
Do this. Oh! Jesus Christ! What?
That's interesting.
It's
rather unpleasant, I know.
And you know the weird part is that there's already there's already a monster that's based on the Pot of Greed.
This reminds me of those fucking dig.
Yeah, there's also the spirit of the Pot of Greed, which is the same shit.
This reminds me of those fucking Diglett memes.
Yeah.
Except it's real.
Anyway, so there are already several monsters of the Pot of Greed. There is the Goblin of Greed, who the Pot of Greed's face seems to be modeled after in the lore. Then there's Avatar of the Pot, which is the Pot of Greed as a guy. And then there's the Spirit of the Pot of Greed, which is the Pot of Greed but as a ghost.
Yes.
And there are various cards that are bootlegs of the Pot of Greed slapped together with another pot. And then there's the Shard of Greed, where everyone just got fed up and smashed the Pot of Greed to death.
Anyway.
What the hell does Pot of Greed even fucking do? Anyway. They play Pot of Greed a lot in this.
They do.
Yes, they do.
I don't know what it does.
They finally realized it was busted, so we're now going to see it.
Anyway,
speaking of duels,
the season hasn't even started yet, and Kaiba just screams out to the heavens, "God damn it! Why do we have to play with these stupid made-out rules?" Kaiba is just pissed as hell that he's in a filler arc.
Yeah,
I love it.
And he refuses to play along as well. Like, this whole time, everyone else is, like, fighting the big five. He's just gunning straight for Noah.
Yeah.
But
that's okay, because that's exactly what Noah wants. Noah is just walking Kaiba down just like backstory lane.
Yeah.
Just like everyone's got their own thing going on. They're trying to figure out what's what. None of them kind of gets it. They slowly start to understand, oh wait, none of this matters. Why are we trying? So they don't pussyfoot around it. The big man, I was calling them Five Guy the whole time because can't be bothered to remember their name. They're all interchangeable except for their roles.
The Five? The Five Guys Burger and Fries?
Just Five Guy. Okay, so Liam just
I had to see this and no, so do you.
Yep.
Why do you do this?
The individual Exodia cards were never actually designed to be put together like this.
Oh, did you show the picture with the dong?
It might be.
Oh my god. We gotta start the season, for Christ's sake. So basically
Yugi's guy shows up right away to duel him, and the other ones have to just wander around aimlessly until their guy shows up.
Yes.
Yeah, so he has chosen the Deep Sea Warrior as his deck master. Why? I don't know. That card sucks ass. Someone throw it up. I think it has some mediocre... No, wait, I don't even think it has an effect. And if it does, it's probably some shitty Umi. Is it some shitty Umi effect?
If Umi is on the field, something about trap cards maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. So anyway, he chooses this card, God knows why. And then he plays his deck of all water niggas and
Most of his cards do not exist. I've checked.
Yes, I noticed that while playing it, while watching it. Like, none of these cards are real. What the fuck?
Oddly enough, a lot of the cards in this season are all part of the same booster set that came out around the same time.
Yeah, it's promo.
But
it's not really oddly.
But a lot of the deep sea diver guys' cards just aren't real.
Yeah, so first thing, Yugi's trying to pick his deck master, but then Karibo like assaults him, and now Karibo is his deck master.
Yeah. Even the card he uses to win the duel isn't real. What the hell?
Yeah, and then a whole bunch of stuff happens. I don't remember any of it.
Basically, Deep Sea Diver has a whole bunch of cards that are bullshit. Yugi's all like, "Oh man, am I gonna win?" And he quotes Hitler or whatever, the bad guy. The Deep Sea Diver
he quotes a bunch of
warlords and shit.
Yeah.
And then Yugi's all like, "Bullshit! Stop quoting shit and come out with your own shit!" Bam! Rainbows!
Yes, he wins the day with a rainbow
I think I should mention that I think in the dub, they changed almost every single one of these guys' personalities to be more business oriented. Yeah. It's consequential because no one gives a shit about any of these losers. In the sub,
they're all just pedophiles.
So, oh yeah, especially the penguin.
Yes.
Speaking of the penguin, he's up next.
For this guy, wait. For this guy, he constantly refers to all his.
No, we're still on the Deep Sea Diver League. Shut up. Let Joe talk.
Yeah, okay. For this guy in the dub, he just constantly refers to his workers as expendable and just workers and shit, and being an asshole, and that's all he does.
Okay. Anyway, it's really hard to focus on what the Deep Sea Diver strategy is because none of his cards are real, so I forgot what they do. It's all broken.
Yeah, me too.
He doesn't really have a way to deal with it. He's actually doing more poorly in this than I think he's ever done. Because
I think it was like a revival deck he was up against.
So the deal is that the deck masters are a very broken there is no conceivable way these have been play tested. So this is the first time that they've run up against just unplayable mess of mechanics.
I mean, to be fair, it does make sense in context of like the Big Five and Noah came up with all this, so of course it would be broken and unplayable.
I mean, why is the Deep Sea Warrior? I'm pretty sure the card effect has nothing to do with the Deckmaster effect. Literally nothing.
Probably.
As long as Umi is face up on the field, this card is unaffected by any spell cards. What does that have to do with reflecting all battle damage?
Nothing.
That's bullshit. Sort of what Tornado Wall does, a trap card that goes with Umi. I guess that works. You know what, now that I think about it, Flame Swords and Deckmaster ability don't make much sense either.
Anyway, it's.
But don't worry, they printed a card later that does.
It's time for Anzu to have a flashback to learning about a musical where she wants to dance or something.
This is where it starts, kids. This is where Yu-Gi-Oh starts retconning. It's the card game is much older than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, so we saw earlier that Solomon was playing the card game when he was an archaeologist back before he was a frail old man, but still looked pretty old. So it can't have been that long ago. No, Anzu was apparently.
We also saw Merrick and Ashizu playing as kids.
Apparently Merrick is a teenager.
Yeah, but they were definitely not teenagers when they were playing the game.
Yeah, well, when Teo was a child, she saw a Broadway musical of The Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah.
So,
which is very strange, but yes, and then
we see, like, in the next season, we're gonna see a grown-ass man who was raised by Duel Monsters. It'll make less sense when you see it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a grown-ass
So-
man that has to be in at least his 30s, and he had card games when he was a kid. It's
Yeah, it doesn't make any
none of
fucking
it makes sense.
Look, okay, well, regardless, so Taya sees the stupid musical, and then flashback over, she wanted to be a singer, a dancer, and then
Q
she's getting
being-
assaulted
and
by...
Q being molested by a penguin.
getting-
She has a job interview with a penguin, and she has to take her clothes off.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, not that last part, but the rest of it.
Oh, obviously,
Yes, okay,
obviously
okay.
you've never applied for a job in real life while being a woman.
Good point.
Okay, look, anyway, the Hitsosumi whatever giants show up, Cyclops,
Yeah.
fucking same
Giant,
shit.
yeah.
Yes, they show up and they try to eat her, but then a penguin saves her ass, and she follows the penguin, and then it turns out it's the next member of the Big Five, the Big Five's pedo accountant,
Yes.
and he wants to take over Taya's body because he's a weirdo creep.
Until I
Yes.
saw that cauldron of soup that the Cyclopses were cooking, I thought they were going to molest her.
Anyway, so as referenced before, she chooses her Dark Magician Girl as her card, and the Penguin guy chooses Nightmare Penguin. Nightmare Penguin's ability is to increase the attack of all water monsters by 500.
We're going a little
It's
fast.
pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, Nightmare Penguin's
Well,
great. Unmentioned in this episode is that Nightmare Penguin also has a bounce effect, which
yes, it's
Liam,
actually not bad.
Liam, why don't you explain to the class what Penguin Soldier does?
I don't even
Look,
remember
they made more
at
penguin
this point.
cards.
I just know it was annoying.
Flip! Return 2 cards from the field to the hand. Look. Anyway,
Yep.
they made more penguin cards
does
recently.
that, and apparently it is so inconsequential that he never even mentions it.
Yep.
It's just a really good card.
Well, I
with
mean,
multiple
I guess
good
you can't.
effects.
I guess you can't set Nightmare Penguin since he's his deck master.
That is true.
yeah.
That is true.
Anyway, so we learned that he was neglected as a child, and the only things he liked doing was counting and looking at penguins because he's weird. And yeah,
He is just like a microcosm of everything that is Kaiba. It's really weird.
yeah, and
Like,
in the dub,
Apparently,
Oh, sorry.
apparently, his entire life's goal is to start a penguin-themed amusement park. But
Yes,
he's
yeah.
such
But Kaiba
a
shut it
creepy
down.
asshole that we hate him.
Yes.
yes. So in the dub, he just focuses on numbers all the time. It's so annoying.
He does that here.
But I guess. Oh, he still does it. Oh, so he's just a pedo and he loves numbers.
Yeah,
Good, great. I'm
yeah,
glad I
every
didn't
Two
time
change
things
he
it.
in the world I love is numbers and penguins.
Every time he says,
Yes.
every time he refers to someone by name, he says their age.
Yeah.
Good, beautiful.
But also lots of lewd comments about Taya specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Don't worry, he dies.
I mean,
They all
Yes.
die. So who cares?
I would
Thank
love to
God.
look like Taya also, but you don't say that in front of her.
Well,
That's weird.
not like that, at least. Not like I want to literally become you.
I mean, I would. If I was a penguin, I would want to be hot too.
It's okay.
Oh.
You
Okay,
can be a
that's-
hot
Okay.
penguin if you want.
I can be a sexy.
Anyway,
I can be a sexy
Anyway,
Yeah.
so he plays a bunch of water cards and
penguin. Yep.
he plays a bunch of penguins, and then Taya constantly has to be coached by her deck master, which apparently its first ability is the ability to tell you what the fuck to do
Apparently,
because she doesn't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
apparently, I think they can all do that.
Yeah,
'cause-
but she really needs that help.
It's like, well, like there's when we get to Joey's duel, like he just flat out just like asks Flame Swordsman, "Hey, what's your deckmaster ability?" And then
Yes.
Flame Swordsman just randomly says it, like, "Oh, damn, it was that easy."
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
so
apparently,
in addition to
we
that,
skipped over. We're moving too fast. Yugi can apparently understand Karibo speak.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Oh yeah.
In a later series, we find out you literally need to be stoned in order to do that normally.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
You thought,
oh
what?
yeah.
Did you think I was joking, Liam?
No,
I don't think you ever
she's
mentioned
not.
that.
I said that earlier in the chat somewhere, probably. Maybe I was stoned maybe I was stoned.
Moki Moki.
Maybe you were Karibo the whole time.
Anyway, look. So,
Yes.
then Taya uses Dark Magician Girl's ability to get the Sage's Stone, and then she plays the Sage's Stone.
No, we're moving too fast again. Yugi duels a series of doors.
Yes.
Yes,
Yugi
he
runs through a
does.
bunch of
Forgot about
hallways,
that.
throwing cards at the doors.
If this man can figure out how to gamify assembling a lever, then he can also figure out how to play card games with a door.
Yes. Basically, he has to beat doors, and some doors are like equipped with spell cards, and he has to go through them from level 1 to 4. And if you don't do level 1 through 4, you just keep going in a loop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And going along,
And every time
they
get stronger every level.
Going along with a very odd theme here is that in the last Virtual World arc, we saw that Yugi apparently had Dark Hole the entire time and just never played it. Apparently,
he also has Heavy Storm,
apparently he
and he
also
never played
plays
it.
Heavy Storm.
Huh.
Now, conceivably, maybe he doesn't actually have that card in real life, but
Because maybe he doesn't have either, but there was in the virtual world, so he could use them.
in the
Who knows?
first Virtual World, their cards they had to insert their cards into the game.
That's true.
Oh yeah, okay.
Here they have to pick out their
This
decks
one they
from
did.
scratch. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, Heavy Storm.
Yes.
Very useful card.
Yes.
Only plays it.
So
Plays it when dueling doors.
Yes, and then he finds Taya dueling fucking creepo penguin Nibba.
Yeah,
and
but
then
there's a
he's
big old ice wall in the way, and he can't break through. But the power of friendship and shiny rocks.
Yeah, he plays the Sage's Stone, which in real life, Sage's Stone, when Dark Magician Girl's on the field, you could special summon Dark Magician from your deck. But apparently in this.
Apparently, we're doing Hearthstone rules here, and it can summon the card from the ether.
Anywhere. Yes.
Or in
from
this case,
anyone's
Yugi's
fucking deck.
Yeah.
Basically, if
it
anybody
literally
in
just
the
sucks.
world has the card, it's yours now. Huzzah!
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she uses it to bean the penguin guy, and he.
Yeah, fuck you, Penguin. You can't have any of these nice titties.
Damn right. And then then they walk around and, what's it called? Joey is trapped in some kind of
courtroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, apparently the middle guy is the only one whose deck... Well, no, he's the first one whose deck master has any sort of relevance, and is also the first one whose deck master is a card that a main character's already played before. Judge Man, one of the cards that was in the first episode. Also, the Cyclopses that were about to molest and or eat Taya earlier, those were the first hologram that we ever saw. Ever.
Huh.
That was the Cyclops monster that Kaiba summoned that made Joey shout, "Monsters! Real monsters! Brooklyn Rage!"
Nice.
Yes, that is all things that happen.
Yep.
But
So
Joey's...
the head of the legal department, I guess, or as he just says, he's the lawyer, which means that either Kaiba Corp does not have an entire legal department, and this guy is not the head of it, or he's the head of it, and they just are apparently just dumbing it down for stupid children.
He's the lawyer.
Probably.
He is the lawyer. They just have one. They just have the one, and Kaiba fired him. The one lawyer.
Yes, we should mention that while Joey is going through this courtroom, he first runs into a room which looks exactly like Mai's room, and Mai's laying in the bed, and then she gets up, and then she transforms into him.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Why do they all want to be sexy women?
I didn't even think he wanted to be a sexy woman. He just did that.
Why would you do that if you didn't want that? Because that was
I don't
creepy
know.
as shit.
To fuck with Joey's brain.
His hot MILF girlfriend is in a coma, and he just pretends to be her, wakes up, and is like, "Hey, Joey, want to play fucking card games? Bam! I'm suing you now. I'm the judge." That's how court proceedings work.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
And then they have a card game, and Joey's like not even gonna bother pretending he knows what he's doing. He just flat out asks his standoda, "Hey, standoda, what do you do?" And then the flame swordsman just randomly starts talking with his mouth and says it, and it's like, holy shit. Dark Magician Girl had to think speak at him, and Karibo made those incoherent Karibo noises. But I think this is one of the first times we just see a duel monster just move their mouth and make words. Well, aside from the duel spirits, but from the deck masters, that the big five don't count.
Anyway, so
except for the counting guy who counts.
So Joey doesn't, like you say, he doesn't really know what he's doing, so he just plays a bunch of luck-based cards like he normally does. But that's not going to work this time.
It turns out the judge is cheating.
Yes.
He's
manipulating the luck to change it.
Yes, he manipulates the luck so he always loses. Once Noah finds out, he gets really pissed and tells whatever lawyer boy to fuck off, or he's going to
hey,
delete
the reason I'm having you play these stupid card games is because I want to beat Kaiba in his own set. I want to beat Seto his own game. If you're gonna cheat, then you're not playing his game. Play your game, stupid.
Yeah.
Don't. But then the guy is like, I don't need to cheat to win because he sucks. And then Joey whoops his ass.
Well, yeah, that's the weird thing.
I should mention that.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Yes, I should mention that Judge Man's ability is literally Judgment Dragon's ability.
Basically, kill everything on your opponent's side of the field all the time.
Yeah, but
okay. Judgment Dragon's ability is pay 1,000 life points to draw cards on the field. Judge Man's Deckmaster ability is the same shit.
Yeah.
Now, aside from how broken his Deckmaster ability is, I really like the cards he plays. I wish some of them were real. So basically, all of the monsters he plays are real cards, but the cards that actually make them work aren't. Joey has a card like Trap Hole that will destroy a big if the opponent summons a big monster, it go bye-bye. But Judge Man doesn't summon a big monster. He summons really shitty monsters that get powered up real big.
Yeah.
By fusing them.
Yeah. So what happens in the early days of the game, they made a whole bunch of really shitty fusion monsters for no reason, just for the sake of them existing. I don't know why. No one knows why. It's very strange. And this guy has a deck that entirely relies on those shitty cards and cards that support them specifically because of how shitty they are. And I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Neat.
I wish they actually made those, because it would suddenly make all these shitty cards from the early days into really good cards.
Yeah. So I love this part.
They don't want good cards.
I love this part where after Noah comes in and baps the judge on the nose, saying, "No, bad, don't do that." He says to Joey, "Look, because this guy cheated, we'll just call the duel off and you win by default." And Joey's like, "No, screw that. I'm carrying on even though I've only got 100 life points or something."
It's because apparently Joey is so confident. He at this point believes that the only reason he was losing was because the Judge Man was cheating, which he's not wrong, but also relying entirely on luck is a stupid strategy.
Yes.
But
it works
I
out
mean,
for
it
him in
works
the end.
out. It works out in the end because he kicks his ass.
Joey never has a reason to learn better strategies, because luck always wins.
I mean, I think he. You know what? I don't think he does. No, I don't think he ever learns. I don't think he ever learns better strategies.
He does
He does
not.
not.
Anyway, so now we get to speedrun the next big five guy with 3 opponents.
Next is some really interesting shit.
Are we just not going to talk about the Kaiba part of all this, where he's just like having a?
I was just gonna save that.
We're going.
I was gonna say that for Kaiba's duel.
We're going to lump all the Kaiba stuff into his duel, where it makes it's easier to talk about. Because we'll be skipping all over the place because Kaiba basically Kaiba has Kaiba's subplot in this is sprinkled all throughout everyone else's episodes. We get backstory for Kaiba throughout this whole deal, and it's very interesting. We'll get to it when we get to Kaiba's duel, because it's where it meets a crescendo. I think I used that word correctly.
So now we get to the member of the Big Five who was Kaiba Corp's weapons guy.
The military weapons guy, yes, him.
Yes,
they didn't censor any of this in the dub. I'm surprised.
The one whose job was made the least least useful.
Yes,
by Kaiba taking over. In fact, Seto taking over the company is what would have been so counterproductive for this guy that I don't know why he even... Because apparently the Big Five all helped Seto take over the company from his father.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
But, Seto was not making it at all secret that if he was in charge of the company, they would not do military no more.
Yeah.
Did the military guy think that he was joking?
I guess.
This was the person who was running the world's military! Kaiba Corp manufactured all the weapons in the world. They're the war profiteer of the world, apparently. I don't know if that's how it works in real life. I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 companies that make guns. Here it seems like Kaiba Corp was making just all of the death machines. This guy is an idiot, and he was running all the boom boom sticks.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
anyway,
he was.
So he challenges a bunch of people that have no idea what they're doing to a card game, and it goes about as well as you'd expect. Yeah, so,
I can't believe Honda's fucking dead.
Yep. Tristan was the first person in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! To ever play a Duel Monsters card.
But he also sucks the biggest ass.
Never shown in the anime, but, so in the anime continuity, he has probably never actually played the game at all. Duke has apparently played it once, and in a draft duel, where he did win, randomly, with cards he would never even have looked at otherwise, and Serenity was literally blind a week ago, and has no idea what anything is.
Yes.
This is going well. Yeah,
so basically you have Tristan and Duke both just white knighting for Serenity real hard, and not focusing
really.
on beating the guy.
No, Tristan is white knighting, Duke is focusing on beating the guy.
Okay, yeah, good point.
So,
Duke still wants
Serenity
to win.
Accidentally plays a really weak monster in attack mode. Tristan plays a weaker monster in attack mode so that the bad guy will fight him instead. Also, we should mention this, the military man is a robot.
Yeah.
Yes, he likes robots. He says that robots are superior to humanity or some shit.
Robots are cool, yes.
Well,
and this guy is like an old knighty type looking guy. Robotic knight is what the card is called. And anyway, so Serenity plays a card in attack mode. It's really shitty. Tristan plays Cyber Commander because of course he does. Because he wants to lure Robot Knight into attacking him. And then Duke plays like an actual person who knows what they're doing.
Also, their deck masters are the.
And then the Robotic Knight is like, "Nah, bitch, I want to be hot," and so he attacks the child because, of course, he does. Because they all want to be women's. And can we really blame them? Yes, we can. They're all very creepy about it.
Yeah, and definitely. Then, so we should mention Serenity's deck masters, Gods with the Third Eye. I don't even remember.
Yep.
So. Tristan's deckmaster is Super Robo Yoru, and
it's a fusion.
And Duke's a Strike Ninja,
which is a card,
but it wasn't a card when this was printed.
Nope.
Yeah. Which
so
is
basically, most of what most of the cards in Duke's deck are based on the Dungeon Dice Monsters episode. There's even a couple that are literally just what if there was a card of Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Yes, I want that to become real, but it never will.
God Orgoth is a card now. Orgoth the Relentless has been printed and does dice about what he does in this episode.
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat. Strike Ninja, Uranzo, all those other cards, they're real. It's good.
But regardless, so first thing Robotic Knight does is destroy Tristan because he keeps trying to defend Serenity, so he gets fucking owned and dies.
Yeah, Robot Man has a deck master that lets him discard a bunch of cards and blow up his opponent real bad. And because Tristan really doesn't want anyone to get into Serenity's pants except him, he ends up accidentally doing a die. And and that turns out that's a bad idea because Serenity goes all PTSD because, I mean, her friend just died because of her. Yeah. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
And then the Robot Man is all like, "Young girl, it's your turn. It's your turn. Duke, should we just skip her turn?" And then Duke is like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
But yes, they eventually do skip
He's so casual about this. Like,
yeah.
Are you going to have a moment? We're going to keep playing this children's card game, but you need to stop crying. Why are you crying? I've only murdered your friend a little.
Anyway, yeah, so they just skip turns and then Duke and him play, and then at the end of the thing,
and then at the end, it turns out Tristan played one last card, and Duke activates a card that lets him activate Tristan's card, which is still on the field for some reason.
If you try to use it,
this wouldn't even be the last time this.
Sir.
Yeah. Turns out that the last card Tristan played was not even one that would have. I don't know why he would have even played it. Honestly, it powers up fusion monsters, which none of them had at the time.
Super Robo Yaru is a fusion monster.
I don't think Tristan knew that.
True enough.
I think he just played the card because Super Robo Yaru was on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it turned out that they accidentally had synergies. Because Serenity picked a fusion substitute monster as her deck master.
Yep.
And actually, when she draws the cards she needs to summon a fusion monster, her deck master is like, "Hey, I can fuse those together with my deck master ability."
Yep.
Because it's relevant to the thing I actually do, which is fuse things.
Yeah.
Is what Goddess with the Third Eye does. It's one of the earliest cards that, but in the real game, Goddess with the Third Eye, you can use it as a substitution for any fusion monster.
Yes,
with some weird exceptions, and so I guess that just does it. So she summons Saint Joan.
Yep.
Angel of Joan. Angel of
Saint Joan.
Saint Joan. This card has a lot of names. Basically, it's Joan of Arc, but an angel. It's neat.
Neat.
She kicks the robot's ass, and also the robot got got big earlier. I skipped over that because it didn't make a lot of sense. He's a Gundam now.
Yeah, he tributes Robotic Knight to summon the perfect machine king.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he summons Machine King, and then he tributes Machine King and himself to summon Big Boy Machine King.
There's a lot of Machine Kings actually in Yu-Gi-Oh.
He goes from being this medieval knight-looking robot to a fucking Gundam, and it's really just this duel's all over the place.
Yeah.
Tristan played Cyber Commander, and this is the last time we'll ever see it.
Yeah, because it sucks ass. But it looks like Tristan.
Anyway.
Which, it's sucking ass and also looking like Tristan is perfect.
Well, that's probably why they picked it for the episode that they did it
and
in.
then after, turns out
apparently there's a new Flame Swordsman card that looks like Joey, so that's neat.
Yeah.
St. Joan.
Anyway, so they win.
When Tristan dies, it looks like he's being dropped into the furnace of hell. It's really traumatic considering Serenity just watches as it happens.
Turns out that when you die in the game, you don't die in real life. You get transferred over to Monkey. You become a monkey. And at first he can only say...
He becomes Acrobat Monkey!
Another shitty card. And he walks out and originally he could only make monkey noises.
Basically
he can only
monkey.
make monkey noises, but then he hits a switch and then it turns out he can...
There's a switch on the back of his head! That was set to monkey mode. He met up with... Okay, we're almost
and
to
then
the
he just
duel.
Subconsciously starts thinking about fucking Shizuka's boobs, not knowing that he's thinking out loud.
Yeah, this is the first time in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime where there's a character explicitly talking about tits and not just being vaguely pervy. He's just talking about...
none of this was in the Crunchyroll subs.
Okay, we're not quite there yet. Okay, so Yugi's friends are all get together. Yugi and his friends, by this point, they're all together. Tristan's body shows up and starts attacking Kaiba with a metal pipe and kidnapping Mokuba, and there's a motorcycle, and it's awesome. And it turns out that the big five guy, the robot man who beat Tristan and then lost the duel, technically he did beat Tristan, so he gets Tristan's body. Them's the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But Tristan suddenly gets attacked by a robot monkey out of nowhere, and everyone's confused, including him, because I don't think he knew that would happen. And it turns out that Tristan Monkey is just a thing now, and everyone, for some reason, distrusts this monkey, even though they seem to have no problems trusting the Duel Monsters when they tell them stuff. You know what? I think if everyone knew that this robot monkey was based on was designed after a card, then maybe they would trust it more.
Maybe.
So Tristan spends the rest of this arc cuddled into Serenity's boobs. This is basically heaven for him.
Yes. He says at multiple points, I don't even care about turning back into a human anymore as long as I get to enjoy this.
He comments on how soft and squishy the titties are, and that must mean that there are nerve endings in the robot monkey. This just raises further questions.
Who knows?
Anyway, so basically, okay, he accidentally flips the switch that he starts speaking English again while he's talking about the titties, and I think his friends are all just so surprised that they don't notice. They're just like, whoa, I think I heard Tristan just now. What was that about my sister's tits?
Someone talking about Shizuka's boobs? It must have been the Honda.
But yeah, so even after Serenity realizes that this is Tristan and that he is really pervy about her boobs, she doesn't stop cuddling him.
Yeah, it's kind of concerning in a lot of ways.
She's cool with it.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is why Japan draws anime characters looking older than they are.
Sometimes.
This would be really weird if the characters' designs reflected how Joey was like a preteen and she was a toddler, and then they grew up. And there's an age gap, and Tristan is just a monkey now.
Yeah.
Don't worry though.
Yeah.
They all look. Don't worry though. They all look like adults, so it's okay. Except for Yugi, who thankfully I don't think Yugi ever mentions tits ever.
Thank God.
I never want to hear Dan Green say boob.
Haven't
I
we
do
already?
now.
It was in a porno.
What?
Nice.
He was what?
It was in a hentai.
Okay, so
you don't remember?
I was joking. I was joking when I said that thing that I said. What is this about? What is this about Dan Green being
Guys,
in a hentai?
you didn't know? Yeah.
No.
He was in
Is this
Phobia
what
is what it's called. He's in it. Go look it up.
I was thinking we were talking about. There's this anime recently that happened where I think it was Funimation. They started dubbing it without realizing it was a hentai, I guess.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
After a couple episodes, they realized it and they stopped. But this is a different.
This is like
thing
literal
that Joe was
porn.
talking
It's
about. What
called
is this?
Phobia. With the
Phobia.
F.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely different.
No, this isn't fucking interspecies.
The one I was
reviewer.
thinking.
How did
Yeah,
they
the one I
not?
was
Yeah.
thinking of was
How did they
interspecies
not know
reviewers.
sexual nature? It's literally about having sex.
Business people are really inept.
You know, to be fair, with interspecies reviewers, I hear that the anime is way more graphic
That's what
than the
I've
manga.
heard, yeah.
So
Oh, yes, definitely.
There's
very
like straight
much so.
porn.
yeah. Anyway,
Like the main character has a giant dick, and that's like their defining, and that's like important to the character apparently.
I don't know, that's
Because
pretty
they-
important to my character.
They have sex for a living,
yes.
so that's the thing. Okay,
Anyway.
yeah, Dan Green was in a Phobia. It's an OAV. It's an OVA. OAV. It's erotica horror. What year was this? 1995.
There you go, people at
Okay.
home. If you want to look it up, that's what you need to
Yep.
look up.
So not only was Dan Green in hentai, he was in a hentai before he was in this. So
Anyway,
what were we talking about? What were we talking
yeah.
about? Tristan and Kaiba having a sword fight.
oh yes. So Tristan's body gets taken
Oh,
over by
yeah.
Robot Guy because he didn't fuck up like the other idiots, and so he fights Kaiba in
Yeah.
a sword fight, and then he wins, and then he runs away, and then Kaiba chases after him, and then he runs into
And he
the
kidnaps
last.
and he kidnaps Mokuba because everybody kidnaps Mokuba. It's like
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a thing. And also this is apparently
Mokuba confirmed
Tristan
Princess Peach.
and he is a
Yeah, well,
princess.
Mokuba was literally Mokuba
Yeah.
was literally Princess Peach in the last Virtual
Yeah,
World
so-
arc.
He's already been a princess.
Anyway, Tristan is the first character to ride a motorcycle. No, he is not. Merrick was riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Neither of
Tristan rode one before Marek did.
Neither of these characters is in 5Ds for some reason. It's really confusing. There is a character from the Duel Monsters era that is in 5Ds, but it is neither of them. In fact, it is... We'll get to it when we get to it. If you don't already know, I want you to be surprised who it is.
I mean, we've
Well,
gone over
we've already
Trudge
said.
already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the school bully from the first chapter of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is for some reason a main character in 5Ds. He becomes a police officer. He becomes a police officer far enough in the future that people no longer really remember who Yugi even is. So that's weird.
Yes.
So
anyway,
yeah, like in the 5Ds movie, like they have to look up who Yugi is, and they're like, "Who is that guy?" Oh, apparently he was real good at card games at some point.
Makes no sense.
anyway,
Okay.
back to the present day.
Back to the present. Back to the
Freaking
present, which is
Jinzo
also
boy.
the past. We'll get to the
Jinzo
future
boy.
when we get to it. Yep, Jinzo. I resent that this villains shouldn't be allowed to play cards that have sad backstories, let alone be them. And this dude is straight up Jinzo. Fuck this guy.
Yes, he chooses Jinzo because he wants to fucking win. And he turns out this guy was Kaiba's
Yes.
dad's right-hand man. Helped Kaiba take over the company. Kaiba got the Donald Trump small loan of $1 million. And
He did.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Now is the time when we go over Kaiba's backstory.
Yes.
Kaiba. So this is apparently part of the manga originally. Kaiba was an orphan. Kaiba and his brother were adopted by some rich asshole. There was never really an explanation for why this rich asshole adopted these orphan
now
children.
you know, but now we will tell you.
And
It's
now we
because
know. As it turns out,
Mhm.
because this entire arc has been an homage to Season 0 in the early manga that Nos never got to adapt, we now get basically a microcosm of the early manga, where a young child plays a rich asshole, plays a big asshole adult in a game made for children, and the stakes are very high. Basically, Kaiba is like, "You're the world champion of chess, apparently. Play me in a game, and if I win, you adopt me and my brother." And the dude is like, "No. What? I don't want children? Why would I agree to this?" And then Kaiba is like, well, I guess he's not Kaiba at the time. And then Boy is like,
yeah.
"What are you, chicken?" And then Rich Man Gozaboro is like, "What? No, I am an adult." And they play the chess. And we never really see. I swore that we saw for years and years. I swore that we saw how this resolves, but no. Kaiba just says no. So as it turns out, the best way to win at chess is to do everything your opponent does, and then you win.
Yeah.
I mean,
Apparently,
okay.
Yeah, apparently Sato studied this guy's tactics and figured out how he plays, and then won.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in this universe, chess masters are really stupid, because that's a really easy strategy. The mirror strategy. It's really easy.
Yeah. But anyway,
But
so
it works because
Kaiba
Gozaboro's
won,
an idiot,
and he got adopted.
and he doesn't want to. Like the reason he's at an orphanage is for a press thing. Like he's just there to hand out gifts to orphans for PR.
Yeah.
So like it's probably on camera him agreeing to adopt this kid if he won at chess. So he's got to do it now. So he does it. But he's a dick about it. He's like, "All right, now now you're homeschooled, and my butler is gonna hit you with a ruler if you don't suspend every second.
studying.
And don't play card games. Don't play card games anymore."
Gotta be like,
Well,
And then
as we'll
Mokuba
find out.
fucking hollows out a textbook and hides trading cards in it.
Yes.
like a prison thing.
Including a hand-drawn Blue Eyes, which is just adorable.
Yep. And this is like, it's so surreal hearing Kaiba happy about receiving a bunch of shitty cards. He laughs and he says, "Oh, these are all such trashy cards. It's great." And then he sees the hand-drawn Blue Eyes and he's like, Mokuba, I swear, one day I will have the real thing. Flash forward a couple years, and Kaiba literally murders people so he can have this thing. Like,
yes.
So basically, Kaiba kills people because his brother doodled a dragon once.
God damn it, Mokuba. Why you gotta be like that?
We get a better backstory for why Kaiba is so horny for the blue eyes later, but this is cute. This is cute though.
Yeah. So anyway, so we do actually find out that much later we find out that Gozaburo does have an ulterior motive for adopting Seto and Mokuba.
We find we're not
but
there
for now
yet. We're at the. This is the backstory. Yeah. This is Kaiba's backstory, not Kaiba's backstory. I keep calling him Kaiba. The reason I think everyone calls him Kaiba, and even when they're dealing with someone who's explicitly a Kaiba bad, is that I think Kaiba earned that name. He basically stole Kaiba Corporation and the Kaiba name from Gozaburo. He basically earned it.
Yeah.
He is Kaiba now.
Yeah.
Father, I am the Kaiba now. Oh, well, I guess I'll die then.
Literally, yes.
Yeah, that's... Okay, so...
Gozaburo apparently killed himself after Kaiba apparently...
Yeah, apparently he committed suicide, but I want to believe that scene from Season 0 was canon, where Kaiba just fucking killed him.
I want to... So, here's the thing. We can accept... How about, what if we believe that scene is canon... But Kaiba was fucking 10? Because Kaiba basically initiated a hostile takeover on Kaiba Corp when he was 10.
Yes.
Because I don't know how he did this. Okay, basically pure luck. Just one day, 1 year, Gozaburo Kaiba decided, I'm going to give a small loan of $1 million to my adopted son for his birthday, but he has to pay me back with interest.
Yes.
And then Kaiba pays him back with interest, and then kills him.
Yeah, so what Kaiba does with the money is that he buys 51% of a company and then extorts it back to the original owner.
Yes.
Yeah, he basically buys most of the company and then immediately tries to shut it down completely, to the confusion of everyone he just bought. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, you want to keep your job? Buy the company back, bitch."
Yep.
Like, oh my god, this is exactly how capitalism works. I hate it. But also, Kaiba, the company that Kaiba extorts for money, like, they probably have a plaque honoring this boy in their courtyards, because, like, if Kaiba hadn't totally fucked us one day, the world would still be blowing each other up.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I cannot overstate this, and I have said it a lot, and I will say it a lot more. Kaiba Corp is a war profiteering company. They make all the weapons, all the military shit, all the boom booms. Like, there are so many series of Yu-Gi-Oh! That go on after this, and I don't know how the timeline works, but it looks like at least centuries have gone on, and basically all of the world's conflict is fought with card games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently before this series, all the conflict in the world was fought with real weapons and guns and shit. Kaiba brought about world peace.
He sure did.
By taking over this corporation and killing many people.
Yes.
I don't really know why he needed to kill people, but the ends justify the means when the ends are world peace.
I guess. But so in this case, what he does is he basically pulls the same tactic again as he did with that smaller company, where he buys 49% of Kaiba Corp and then
beats
uses
the crap out
Mokuba's
of his
2%
brother.
shares. Well, yeah, he
I don't
uses
know why
Mokuba's
that was
2%
necessary.
shares to make it more believable. I don't know.
I guess. Basically, so on the birthday when Gozaburo gave him the small loan of $1 million, he gave both Mokuba and Seto 2% of the company.
Yes.
Which Seto multiplied into 49%. And Gozaburo just sort of let him because Seto tricked him into thinking that Mokuba no longer liked Seto and was going to give his 2% to Gozaburo. So Gozaburo was like, it would probably be smarter of me to buy more shares of my company so that he doesn't get even close to 49%. But I want to just be really smug about it. Like, look at that. I bought exactly 2% of the company more than you needed. Isn't that
I
great?
sure hope that his literal brother doesn't come back to his side in the end.
Yeah, so then Mokuba shows up and said, "Hey, that thing that I'm going to do every day for the rest of my life, which is suck my own brother's dick. Yeah, I'm going to do that." And then Gozaburo was like, "Oh shit!
Time to
Dicks!"
die.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Gozaburo commits seppuku because he can't murder people anymore.
Yep.
Yeah,
but it's okay. He commits digital seppuku.
No, we have spoilers. We haven't done
Anyway,
that yet.
okay. So Jinzo guy plays
Yeah,
his
so
shit.
as it turns out, Jinzo guy
Was the guy?
isn't really pissed. Like, he seems to be more pissed off at the way Seto treated Mokuba than
that brings up a point, actually. I don't know how it was in your subs, but when I was watching, Kaiba referred to him as Diamond before he actually revealed himself to be Diamond.
Yes, he
yeah,
knew.
That happened in us as well.
It
knew.
happens in the dub. It happens in...
Why?
Yeah, so
he just knew. He heard his voice and he knew who he was. Clearly.
Yeah, so it's basically Kaiba, like, Kaiba has seen enough of everyone else's duels that he knows that if a duel monster shows up or a creepy guy shows up and wants to play a card game with me, it's probably one of the big five. They've played the one, my guy is obviously going to be my dad's butler. Oh wait, my dad's butler was that creepy old guy. What the fuck did this guy do? I think he was just the corporate vice president.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And he worked for Kaiba.
Speaking of butlers, though, R.I.P. that other guy, like the actual butler. Like, he had such a cool, like, thing going on in Season 0. Now he's just a butler.
Yeah,
Only that, but he looks hilarious now.
That's how he was in the manga.
He's a freaking
also.
almond.
That's how he was in the manga also.
Yeah.
Hobson, Daimon, whatever you want to call him, was fucking awesome in Season 0. Like, they had to work with this in the manga. This is what was in the manga. They looked at that and thought, how about we do that but good? Basically they thought they redesigned him from scratch and basically preserved the only similarities the characters have is the basic shape of their head, old glasses, Kaiba.
But
that's
yeah,
it.
in season 0, they turned him into a freaking bio cyborg. It was awesome.
Yeah, but don't worry though.
He's just a butler.
Like, there's a lot of cyborg shenanigans in this, but I mean, it's not that.
Yeah.
You would think that in the Season 0 homage season that they would take one of the best improvements from the anime had over the manga and not shit all over it. But maybe they hadn't actually watched season 0 before they started making the anime. They had already
Maybe they just thought, haha, green Kaiba.
They had already established that this character they'd already apparently this character was in episode 1 and already looked like a raisin, so they couldn't apparently they couldn't retcon that he looked cool 10 years ago. I guess. I don't know.
Anyway,
I choose to disregard that this character even exists and just imagine that he's season 0 him.
Yeah, so Jinzo cool. Boy brings out the satellite cannon, which seems unbeatable because it's in freaking space. No, before that he has fucking sexy cat-girl nurse. Oh yeah, that one too.
In the other duel, she has like a cat-girl face. When she gets switched into defense mode, she just stares up in the sky with a nya face.
Oh, she has a cat face.
Yeah, she has a cat face. I love this card, Injection Fairy Lily. It
was meta back in the day.
Yep, it does pretty much what it does here, and it was meta back in the day. Because a lot of Jinso's cards here are real cards. Satellite Cannon, surprisingly,
it is, but that is not his art.
Surprisingly, Satellite Cannon did exist before this season. Surprisingly. A lot of people don't realize, a lot of people within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom don't even realize this. Apparently, the wiki says that it debuted in some video game whatever. One of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games had this card in it. So that's weird. And the only other time we see Satellite Cannon in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime is
GX later.
GX in a duel
that lasts.
It's a one-turn kill. It's a one-turn kill episode. It's very fascinating. We'll get to it when we get to it. Anyway, so Satellite Cannon, the card is just hanging out on the duel field, and instead of the artwork, it shows a speedometer, a dial
indicating
to show its attack points. Because every turn, Satellite Cannon starts out with 0 attack points, and it charges its laser.
Gains 1,000 every turn.
Yep, yeah, it's a very cool card, and it can only be attacked by something level 7 or higher. I don't know why Jinzo thought it was a good idea to try to use this card against Kaiba.
Yeah.
The guy who has very easily gotten Blue Eyes out on the first turn of like half the duels he's ever played.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But in this case, it takes Kaiba a little bit longer to get it out.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah. Also, apparently, Jinzo's Deckmaster ability is it negates trap cards, but only the opponent's trap cards.
Yep.
Yep. So that's neat. I don't know why Kaiba keeps trying to use Crush Card. It's only worked once. Stop trying!
He just really wants to do it.
I mean...
He's just constantly thinking, oh man, it'll be so cool when I get this one out. Ah, damn it, they foiled my plans again.
This, on one hand, it's realistic. This is how I play card game. It's like, yeah, this strategy worked a couple times. I'm gonna keep trying it, and eventually it'll work again. That's apparently I am platinum ranked on this season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links somehow. In the rank mode, I've been my strategy is just keep playing until I win. Yeah, it's like I'm caught in a time loop and I'm just punching at the diamond wall until eventually, billions of years down the line, I will have punched it enough that there's a hole in it. There's an episode of Doctor Who about punching a diamond wall and a hole in it. Good times. Anyway, Kaiba fucking flies a Blue Eyes White Dragon into space.
Yes.
It's fucking awesome. there's a card with artwork of the Blue Eyes White Dragon floating in space, and it's real neat.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure this is the reason why.
Probably.
But I would imagine. Anyway, it's really good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Mr. Jinzo was kind of stupid. Like, yes, I'm gonna also Kaiba plays the Mega Core X from Metroid Fusion. That's the card he tries to use Crush Card with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I summon Giant Germ in attack position. Oh,
so
fuck.
anyway, yeah, Kaiba uses the blue eyes to attack Satellite Cannon when it has 0 attack points, which just completely wipes out the guy, and he wins.
Yep.
And then he runs off after Mokuba.
Yeah. Even though Yugi's friends have a truck.
Yes.
Yeah. Yugi's friends have a truck.
Kaiba doesn't need a truck; he can run.
Apparently, apparently Kaiba's fucking jacked, so I guess his legs can handle it.
Meanwhile, Noah is brainwashing
Mokuba. None of this is
Mokuba.
real, so...
Yeah. Meanwhile, Noah is brainwashing Mokuba into believing that he is his brother.
And also, when Kaiba finds out, Noah says, "No, do you think I would brainwash Mokuba? Clearly, he's fine." So lying then,
and Kaiba just goes along with it.
So we've gone from chastising Judge Man for cheating to brainwashing someone and lying about it. All right,
it's okay when Noah does it.
It's okay when Noah does it.
He makes it's like the cops, you know. It's okay when they break the rules.
This is exactly how religion, capitalism, and all of this works. This is all of it. This is the woke season.
Yeah.
Anyway. So they're about to duel. The big five show up.
The big five show up again. And
now they have
truck
Tristan's
won't start,
body.
And the truck won't start. And now they are the five guy. The five guys become one guy, and that guy has hair. So now they're the hair guy, and they duel Joey and Yugi because they're
but you forgot Kaiba boarding the Blue Eyes train.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Apparently Kaiba Land has a Blue Eyes train.
I'll put that in the thing.
Kaiba does not react with surprise when he sees it, which means this is a part of Kaiba Land that he would have expected to see here. You know how Disneyland
he designed
has
this himself. You just know it.
Yeah, you know Disneyland has a monorail. It's like that. Kaiba Land just has a Blue Eyes train around the park to get to places.
He has a hard on for that dragon,
he designed the whole thing himself. Of course he designed it himself.
Are you saying Kaiba's a furry?
Scaly.
Are you saying
They're called
he's not?
Scalies. They're called Scalies, Liam. They're called Scalies. Get it right.
Yes.
Yep, it's not...
It's bold of you to think I care.
Your best friend works at Bad Dragon or whatever. Just... Okay, I got a lot of
Anyway,
words
speaking
wrong
of
in that
bad
sentence.
dragons, the Big Five.
The Big Five, now that they're one guy again, they play the best hits. They play the greatest hits collection of all their episodes, of all the previous episodes, including justifying a bunch of really questionable strategies they had. Apparently, Deep Sea Warrior guy had the legendary Ocean card that would have made Deep Sea Warrior actually a card that can be played in real life.
Yeah, but didn't play it.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Deep Sea Warrior is level 5. Legendary Fisherman is level 5. All of these cards have really shit stats for a card that needs to be tributed to be summoned. Legendary Ocean does, or as apparently it's called Atlantis. I never knew that. I don't know why they wouldn't have translated that.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it.
There's going to be an entire arc revolving around the lost city of Atlantis, and they did not change that in the dub.
No.
But apparently we can't have a card called Atlantis. That's confusing.
Whatever.
Anyway, Legendary Ocean actually lowers the level of all water monsters in your hand and on the field.
By one.
Yeah.
by 1. So cards like Catapult Turtle, Deep Sea Warrior, Legendary Fisherman, they can all be summoned without having to eat something.
Yeah.
I don't know why they made these cards have levels that were so high. At some point they did it. But anyway, so this guy plays, they all take turns with Tristan's body, and Robot Monkey Tristan is like, why are you playing musical potatoes with my body? Stop it!
Yep.
Yeah. As it turns out, the Big Five have terrible synergy with each other, and they can't form a proper plan of action, so they're all just playing whatever they want on their own terms.
Yep, every turn they're playing a completely different strategy, and it's
Well, the penguin guy and the water guy and the deep sea warrior guy work together, but everyone else
they have pretty good synergy.
Yeah.
Now you want to know what happens when you get a robot wet, though? Let me tell you, that don't work. The original Umi would actually lower the attack and defense points of machine monsters, so it sure is a good thing that Legendary Ocean doesn't do that. That would sure make this episode cumbersome.
Anyway,
more than it already is.
Eventually, they just say fuck it, and then they play.
Now, despite how incoherent their strategy is, even in universe, they are actually doing a pretty good job wiping the floor with Joey and Yugi. I don't remember. I think it's Yugi's life points that get lowered a lot, or Joey. Everyone's terrible in this. But don't worry, Yugi tricks them into thinking that he's an amateur. And they...
actually, quickly, I love that the first episode that they have, where it's like Yugi and Joey against the Big Five, they spend the entire episode dueling, and by the end of the episode, not a single one of them has lost any life points.
Yeah.
That entire episode was worthless.
I mean, I've had duels like that in Duel Links, where we go like 100 turns without attack points. Without life points.
It's
because you don't get. It's because you don't get as many points. It's because you don't get any points if you surrender. So in Duel Links, even though you're wasting everyone's time, even though you're wasting both yours and your opponent's time, if you're at a stalemate, you gotta get those points.
Yeah.
I just like to imagine someone's at a business meeting playing Duel Links on their phone against me, and it's like, God damn it! Just take little Wingard out of the fence position so I can win. Damn it!
Anyway.
Charts, spreadsheets. God damn it! I'm in a business meeting, but I'm card games.
Business. So the Big Five get bored and they summon the Big Dragon.
And they summon the Big Dragon, because of course they do. And let me tell you something about how stupid everything in the world is. God, they have spent this entire season emphasizing that penguins live in the water.
Yes.
But they have decided, because it's thematically relevant, that no, actually, all of the Big Five's deck masters have different card attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the penguin, which is a water boy, is now a wind boy, because we already have a water boy, and we all need to be different water boys now.
Yes, so
all the boys need to be different boys. So anyway, so the Five-God Dragon is a ritual monster now. It was a fusion monster before, but it's a ritual monster now.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
it.
all I was going to say.
And it needs to be summoned with monsters by sacrificing monsters with 5 different attributes. It doesn't matter if they're dragons this time. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It should be the.
And it has a new effect where what happens when it's summoned? It kills every monster on the field.
Apparently it kills everything. In addition to the effect it already had of not being able to be killed by anything except a light monster. Which Considering that Yugi is super fucking emo, and I think Mystical Elf is the only light monster he's ever played, this is not gonna go very well. But luckily they pull something out of their asses, and Yugi, because I guess in the last time they faced Five God Dragon, Yugi fused Chaos Man with Blue Man and formed Dragon Man. So apparently he didn't know that would happen. So what he does is he fuses Dark Magician with Flame Swordsman to make Dark Flame Swordsman Magician Man.
Yes.
And when Dark Flame Magician Swordsman Man attacks and dies, he becomes Magic Light Show Man.
Mirror Knight, which is a light monster. Mirage Knight, which is a light monster and has the ability to gain the attack of whatever monster he's attacking. So he gains 5,000 attack and kills Five-Headed Dragon, but then
splits back into Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman because the plot.
Yes, he does that, and then they think it's over, but no, he flips over the deal of the Dark Ruler, and now they have to fight Berserk Dragon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing where that's another thing where the deckmaster was destroyed and they should have died, but no, I guess trap cards count.
Trap cards summoning new monsters to replace the deckmaster or some shit.
It's because Berserk Dragon was specifically summoned because Five God Dragon died. So
sure,
I guess that makes it count.
Makes no sense.
But this is probably the worst possible strategy. Because they're playing against fucking Joey with Flame Swordsman and its attack points bullshit. Mm-hmm. Flame Swordsman can take its own attack points and put it in your mouth.
But only if it's a warrior. So he plays Knight's Crest to turn Dark Magician into Dark Magician Knight, and then increases its attack, and then it kills the Berserk Dragon, and they win.
So Berserk Dragon loses 500 attack points every turn because because we're homaging the old shit, and that includes our own shit. Remember when the dragon got fused with a zombie? Well, now it's a zombie dragon, so it's Melty Boy.
Yep.
Every turn it loses 500 points. It's a lot easier to beat over 3,000 attack beat stick than a 3,050 point boy. So turn Dark Magician into a warrior, put Flame Boy into Dark Boy, and make Boom Boom.
Yes.
So
and then they win.
Yugi makes Boom Boom in the Big Five's panties, and then Tristan's body disappears.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I think at this point Noah is a bit preoccupied with Seto and doesn't, because I think maybe he would have honored the agreement and immediately like bam, snapped his fingers, and then Tristan Robot Monkey turns into man.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, like you said,
it would have been funny
right
if he just spontaneously became a man again while Serenity was holding him.
Yeah.
That would have been weird. So that episode, that duel, despite how eventful it was, very low budget. I guess it was actually the bottle episode.
Yeah, I love how
there's a segment that's literally a slideshow. Yeah.
Yes, it goes on for 40 seconds, and it's 15 different slides, and it's great.
I love one of the slides of Flame Swordsman's face as he's about to be blown up, or like he just makes a face like, "Yep, I wish my duelist was better." I'm gonna get it because I took a screenshot. While we get into the reason they had to say the budget. The most extra. This is the most extravagant duel ever.
Yeah.
Just like every, like the setting changes every turn. Noah's got this fucking religious overtones everywhere.
Yes.
Fucking every turn he seems to be playing with a different deck. It's all
It seems
it's
to be
all
that
based
way,
on
yeah.
it's all based on different eras in history, and Kaiba's like, man, I don't give a fuck about any of this. Just cards. And Noah's deck master is literally Noah's Ark.
Yep. Which
With a
turns into a
K.
Hindu god.
Yep. We're gonna
Also, prior to this, Seahorse Y.
Yeah, so luckily all of us seem to be watching with good subtitles this lifetime, but one time I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! I was binging the whole series, and the only subs I could find were these horrible Hong Kong subs. You probably
the
know
Duang.
our listeners probably know the ones, because apparently at the time these were very well known in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community as a thing that you only inflict on yourselves if you absolutely can't not stand 4 kids. So during this season, during this arc, they I guess the subtitlers got confused, drastically confused. And thought that, and at some point they thought that Kaiba and Kaiser were the same word, and so that means that Kaiba's name is Seahorse, because he plays Kaiser Seahorse in one episode, therefore he must be Seahorse.
I see.
He hadn't played it yet at the time they started calling him that, which means they had definitely watched the whole season first before subbing it, and just hadn't actually researched anything outside of that.
Huh.
So they didn't look up to just make sure this is just Donkey Kong was called Donkey Kong because Shigeru Miyamoto thought donkey meant stupid. And he didn't bother looking it up. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
And
so
no.
yeah.
We just need to take a moment of silence. Because those subtitles were so bad that I went mad watching them. It's like if I hadn't already watched the entire series at least once before that point, I think I would have given up. Because the subtitles were just so incoherent that I almost, it would have been better to just not have them on. To just be, because I already knew the scripts. But I was in, just, they refer, the word friendship, apparently Hong Kong, the Hong Kong subbers, I don't even know if they were from Hong Kong, they might have been aliens. Whoever wrote these subtitles, they thought that Feder was the English word for friendship?
Oh.
What the hell? There's a booster pack that the acronym for it is FET, so whenever I'm reminded of the Flaming Eternity booster pack, I get PTSD. It's like, oh god, Feder! Seahorse! Seahorse! Why Seahorse?
Anyway, so yes, Kaiba, Noah, dueling.
Yeah,
Kaiba plays Kaiser Seahorse because Kaiser Seahorse. Shush! You contribute it, and it counts as a tribute. 2 tributes for a light monster. So that's why he chooses it to be his deck master, so he can tribute it to someone to fucking Blue Eyes White Dragon.
As it turns out, the deck master ability is it can apply that effect to any monster he wants.
Yeah.
So he can summon Blue Eyes whenever the fuck he wants. And Noah was like, hey, you know those rules that those guys came up with? Fuck those rules. He picked a fucking spell card to be his fucking deck master. Noah's Ark.
You can do that.
Noah's Ark is the ritual spell card for Shinado, King of a Higher Plane.
So
Yes.
you could
Yes.
have Pot of Greed as your deck master.
You can have Pot of
Yes.
Greed or any of the hundreds of monsters based on it, including. You know what? While we were talking about monsters based on Pot of Greed, there's also a card called Pot of the Forbidden, which
Yes.
it's a monster, and it has 4 effects. You can only pick one. You have to choose, and they're all famous cards that are on the ban list.
Yes.
It's real neat. There's 4 monsters based on Pot of Greed. And if you don't want to have any of them as your deck master, you can have the literal spell card, and I guess it just lets you draw 2 cards sometimes. Whenever you want. I don't know, man. These rules make no sense. So Noah's deck, it's like whenever a monster dies, it can make his life points up whenever he wants, forever.
And he can also, like, summon them back to shield himself against the enemy.
Yeah. So, by the end of this duel, Noah has, like, 1 billion life points.
Yep.
Because it's broken as fuck. And did I mention that they're going through medieval times and fucking 80,000 BC and fucking dinosaurs?
Yeah, he does the whole, like, 7 days of creation thing.
Yeah.
Except, like, throughout the history of the world.
Yeah, and then when they get to the present day era, he starts playing the cards from Gradius.
Yeah.
Gotta say, this is a little on the nose for his character.
It really
A
is.
little.
They fucking show, like, later on, we get to see the fucking tree of life. Like, they just.
Yeah. And
I was just like-
as mentioned, his deck master is actually a ritual monster called Shinato, King of a Higher Plane. Or actually, rather, based on the Shinto mythology. I think that there's I think that's a word. Shinto?
Yeah.
Shinto is a religion, yes.
Yep, it's a very clear reference to various Hindu gods. I don't know why his ritual spell card is a reference to Christian mythology. That's a bit confusing.
Yeah, I'll never understand it either.
At this point, by the time he actually summons the monster form of his deck master, he starts playing cards based on Eastern mythology. Like an entire card archetype based on Eastern mythology. That's neat. Anyway, Kaiba never gets to see those because he loses.
Also, Noah refers to Gozaburo as Chichiue, which means higher father, so that's just another bit of god mythology type stuff going on there.
Anyway, Kaiba loses because this is fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah?
But probably Kaiba actually didn't need to lose, but he was just kind of an arrogant dumbass.
Well, the thing is, Kaiba was in a position to win, but Noah said, Mokuba meat shield, and Kaiba said, no!
Oh yeah, it was like when Yugi dueled Kaiba on the castle.
Also, we've completely glossed over Noah's backstory.
Oh yeah, Noah's backstory
he's real
is...
bad.
Noah's backstory is, it turns out he's a real boy, and now he's not.
Yeah, he got into an accident.
He was a real boy, and now he's GLaDOS.
So
yeah,
he was Gozaboro's son, and he I guess, went to the orphanage while he had a son, because again, he was just there for PR reasons. And Kaiba and Seto said, "Hey, adopt us," and then Gozaburo, I guess, ended up having to.
No. Noah was already dead by that point.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Yeah, no, he was.
There was
No!
a scene. No, there was a
Gozaburo
scene.
says...
There was a scene where Noah was in Gozaburo's office physically with his legs.
That was a flashback to something. That wasn't a flashback. That was just something Noah showed him. It was explicitly
Noah
stated that Noah was already dead. Noah died, and then a couple weeks later, Gozaburo went to the orphanage.
Yeah.
At any rate, apparently Gozaburo was like, I have a robot son now. Oh god, my robot son wants to blow up the world. This is a bad idea.
So how it goes down is that Noah gets hit by a freaking car or something, and he dies. But it's okay because they put his brain in a computer, And
Yes.
then he immediately decides, hey, you know what? If we used all of Kaiba Corp's resources, we could destroy the world in 30 days. How about that? That's neat, huh?
I mean, isolation does things to you, as I'm sure we all
Yes.
realize by now.
He
Yeah.
fucking,
Current
one of the
events.
first things he did to alter the program he was in was reprogram the dog that Gozaburo gave him into a vicious killing machine. And then he had to
Yes.
program a muzzle for it.
We're only informed of that. As far as I can tell, all he did was put a muzzle on the dog and tell Gozaburo it was a bad dog.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, basically the dog was a good boy. It just went barky bark bark. Noah threw a rock at it because he was noticing the glitches in the Matrix. Like, every NPC that he talked to just had a few lines they recycled, and he was getting fed up with how his reality is nothing. So he threw a rock at the dog, trying to elicit some kind of a response that was different. And the dog just continued barking like a happy dog, rather than be afraid. And Noah was like, I want to blow up the world. I want to blow up the world now. And Gozaburo, for a good few episodes, we thought that Gozaburo actually had some kind of standards, and was like, yeah, I want to kill people, but not all the people.
But don't worry.
Don't
Oh,
worry. Don't worry. In a couple episodes, it'll turn out, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
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 So-
Anyway, we can't have our villains be redeemable because they're gonna die and never be brought up again. So,
Yeah.
Kaiba loses the duel and gets turned to stone.
Kaiba loses the duel because because he's about to win. Noah uses Mokuba as a meat shield because homages to stuff like Kaiba threatened to kill himself if Yugi won the duel that one time on the castle. So obviously we got to do it again here. And Mokuba and Kaiba's all like, fine, I activate for last turn. It's really weird that he plays that card because the two monsters on that card's artwork are actually cards that Noah plays after Kaiba has died. So it's thematically it's kind of weird. Also, neither of those cards can be special summoned, so neither of them is applicable. Last turn is a very strange card. Anyway, so Kaiba picks a card on the field, and Noah picks a card, and whichever one has higher life points wins, and that's it.
Yep.
It's the last turn of any duel that it's played in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaiba picks Blue Eyes because of course he does, and Noah picks a boat. Kaiba thinks he's won because it's a boat. But it turns out, oh no, the guy who lives in the boat has 300 more attack points than the Blue Eyes. Oh no.
Yeah. So Kaiba dead.
Damn you, India!
And during all of this, Yugi and the others have shown up and they're trying to figure out who to cheer on. And
obviously the one who isn't holding them hostage.
Yeah, but the other one's Kaiba.
He brought about world peace.
But he's Kaiba.
Yeah, and he did murder 3 people over trading cards.
He almost murdered Yugi's grandpa that one time.
Yeah, he murdered 3.5 people.
Yeah.
Over trading cards.
Anyway, so Yugi's
and in the manga he tried to murder them multiple times.
Yes. So Yugi's
he built a monument to murder.
Yugi is like, Kaiba still had life points left even though he lost the duel, so I'll just, pick up his deck and play you, Noah. And Noah's like, sure, I guess.
Yeah, so, Yugi's like, hey, if Kaiba hadn't played last turn, he would have won. So what if we just forget that he played that card, and continue this duel This whole season's basically been what if Duel Monsters was even more like Calvin Ball. So this is Calvin Ball the episode now.
Yeah, so then they duel, and now
Yugi combines his deck with Kaiba's.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Which is super
weird.
Incoherent. All right.
And then then Noah starts playing a bunch of spirit monsters, and the gimmick with spirit monsters, they return to your hand after the normal summoned.
Oh, right. I remembered something else that's an homage to Season 0 is that Wicked Worm Beast, a card that it's one of my favorite cards from the starter deck. Only shows up in Season 0 in the early manga and the Labyrinth Wall scene with the penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Shows up here in this virtual arc somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but it was there. And the spirit monsters are all basically the same thing. They have the effect of returning to the hand when you play them. Only they have actual good effects on top of that. Wicked Worm Beast I like for the design. The card is shit.
Yeah.
It's really creepy and gross looking.
Sadly, it'd be that way for a lot of things.
Yeah, I really like Trap Master, that fucking Joker with jigsaw traps in his for organs that was in the virtual world arc. That card's kind of shit.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of back and forth between Yugi and Noah. Yugi gets a few life points, loses a few. Eventually it ends up with Noah with 10,000 life points versus Yugi's 100.
Now, hold on. I just remembered something, and I've wanted to have this conversation for a long time, and I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm gonna calmly.
You wear glasses?
Deep breath in. Yeah, I wear glasses.
Huh.
I'm gonna put my glasses on right now because I can't see anything. Anyway, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bother directing this question at Chip or Liam because they're not gonna have the answers. You might not even have the answers. I don't think there are answers. Joe, why does the White Rabbit spirit monster have a rocket-powered pogo stick?
Did you look at trivia?
Yeah, I did. There doesn't seem to be anything about pogo sticks. Or rockets. I
have no idea.
What?
Is it because rabbits jump?
Rabbits
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but
why is the pogo stick powered by a rocket?
I don't know. The fireworks? I don't fucking. Who cares? Stupid game.
Like my memory, I seem to have subconsciously blocked out this whole thing from my memory. So every time I see the card, I just think, oh, it's just like some kind of weird street lamp that the rabbit's holding on to. And then I watch this episode and I'm like, wait, oh god, I'm having flashbacks. Wait, it's rockets. It's a rocket-powered pogo stick. Why is it a rocket-powered pogo stick? I looked it up and I'm on the trivia page again. It's based on the Japanese legend of the hair of Inaba.
Yeah.
Sort of legend about a fucking rabbit, obviously. I don't think it has anything to do with pogo sticks or rockets. I'm pretty sure
you have to read the legend.
I'm pretty sure rockets hadn't been invented yet. So.
Okay.
I don't know.
Isn't that great?
I legit don't know at all.
Pretty much every other spirit monster, you can see them and you're like, yep, that's clearly a thing from mythology. And then you get to this and like, oh, rocket-powered pogo stick, huh? Rocket-powered...
I just stopped questioning it, to be honest.
Just this is... I have lied awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why. Why rocket-powered pogo stick?
Let me look this shit up. Hair of Inaba.
I swear to God, if that ancient Japanese folklore actually has a rocket-powered pogo stick, I will shit.
Oh, you shit anyway.
Anyway. So all of
Anyway.
Yugi's friends are being turned to stone because Noah likes turning people to stone.
Yeah, Noah's a dickhead, and he turned Kaiba and Mokuba into stone after Kaiba lost because the brainwashing wore off, and he was pissed about it.
Yes.
And he's a
now he's turning
robot
everyone
now.
else to stone.
He's turning every turn that Yugi doesn't win, he turns one of his friends into stone, and he's really like he wants them to dread and anticipate it, so he doesn't make a secret which one of them is going to turn into stone next turn. And
Okay, I looked it up. No, there's
Oh,
fucking nothing. I got nothing.
Oh.
It's
That's a
it's a
shame.
story about a rabbit jumping across a bunch of sharks to get to the other island.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
there's a minigame in Rhythm Heaven based on that.
There you go.
Does the minigame in Rhythm Heaven have a pogo stick with rockets?
Oh.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
There you go.
Makes sense. Nothing ever will. Anyway, there's the artwork.
Otohime.
The artwork of Last Turn is a naked man with fire for hair wrestling.
Yeah, it's
massive snakes.
Izanagi and
Yep.
and Amaterasu.
Those are
I mean,
two cards that Noah plays. They're wrestling.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
real great.
Yamata no Orochi.
Hizzle Whizzle. His name, it's really hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
He's not wearing clothes in the artwork of the cards. I'm pretty sure he's wearing clothes in the hologram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Yugi wins because of course he does. Because
Barely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yugi does because he's Yugi. He uses Monster Reborn to summon Blue Eyes that Kaiba had already played and it died, so he needed to do that. And then he fused them together to make Blue Eyes Ultimate Boy. And then he attacked, and oh no, it's not enough. But what's this? Yugi also has Defusion.
Yeah, he defuses the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and then they all attack, and then he wins. Yeah,
Yep. And that is
a legitimate strategy. It works.
completely legitimate strategy, and that is amazing. And the best part is, and I'm surprised Yugi didn't tell Kaiba this. I'm fairly certain those were all Kaiba's cards. I think Kaiba has Defusion. I don't remember.
If I recall, Yugi uses. I don't want to spoil it, but Yugi uses it later.
I'm pretty sure they both use it.
Maybe.
At different points.
I mean,
Probably.
this is all this is all within the virtual world where they've got their virtual decks. So
Yeah, who cares?
Who knows?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Joey has Cyber Harpy in his deck because he saw it once and he had a flashback.
He was like, "Man, that's that girl I want to bang."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird that he just sort of like the cards as they're picking their deck are scrolling really fast. So Joey does not have 20 years to just sit and stare into space before he can like. But I guess in the virtual world they can just process thoughts really quickly.
I don't know.
Because again, all of this happens in the course of a few hours, but it feels like fucking days.
Yeah, it probably happened in literal real time.
There is a literal countdown that happens, and like I don't think it matters at all because computers can just process shit really quickly.
Yeah.
So there's a countdown going on in real life that a computer can have like a fucking year to work it out.
So they beat Noah, and then Noah promises to take them back. But then Gozubura comes out of the sky.
Gozuburo becomes
the
sky.
It turns out he's not fucking dead. He uploaded his mind before he killed himself. Lord knows why. And then, like, if he was going to back his brain up, why kill himself?
I'm going to become immortal. Wait.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And then he decides, you know what, Noah? You had a good idea there. Let's kill everyone. And then...
yeah, so, like, I almost had respect for Gozuburo fucking Kaiba. They sure did pull the wool over my eyes.
Noah, like, takes them back, and he's like, he leads everyone away, but then he leads Mokuba somewhere else and steals his body, and then he later regrets it, and he's like, I shouldn't have done that. Meanwhile, Kaiba decides to duel Gozaburo Kaiba for their... I don't even remember why they're dueling.
I don't remember either. I
think it's just because Goz says, let's duel, and Kaiba's like, yeah, sure, okay.
It's just the
I
arrogance.
never turned down a duel.
Like,
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Gozaburo agreed to play chess with a fucking 8-year-old to adopt him. So he's like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to have my revenge. We're going to play a game that you like now, and I'm going to beat you. How's that feel?
And then he plays Exodia Necros, the card that was nerfed for no reason in real life. I don't know why.
Gozaburo Kaiba plays 3 cards in the entire goddamn duel on purpose and thinks that he's going to beat Seto Kaiba.
Yes, he plays Painful Choice, one of the most broken cards ever conceived, and then it lets you pick 5 cards from your deck, any cards you want, and then your opponent picks one of them and adds it to your hand, and the rest go to your graveyard. This is hysterical. Like him using it here is just like the least of what it could do.
At the time, it was just detrimental. There wasn't a lot of cards that could draw cards out of the graveyard, but now there are. There are a lot. So Painful Choice went from being like a joke card to being super broken at this point. Exodia Necros. It was the first attempt at making a good version of Exodia. It didn't do so hot. The anime effect is really good. They nerfed the fuck out of it because Konami has this really weird idea thinking, oh, well, we can't make anime cards work like they do in the anime because that would make people happy?
Yeah, I don't know. This card would have just been playable if it was,
Yeah, so basically...
No, it's unplayable as it is.
Konami has this idea that if a card is so good that it's probably going to end up being banned anyway, then just make it not good, and then people can play with it. Except it's Exodia. People kind of already expect Exodia to be super powerful and overpowered and illegal in tournaments, so just make...
So this is Kaiba's... Yeah. So just make it...
So Exodia is supposed to punch good. That's all they do. So what they did was they made an Exodia that if you dump all the Exodia pieces into the graveyard, which Gozaburo just did, then you can summon the zombie version of Exodia, which doesn't instantly win the game, but does punch good.
Yeah.
He punches really good. He can't be destroyed by card effects. And when he punch, he gets drunk. And
they literally had to remake this card later. The Summon God. Yeah, Summon God Exodia is basically what this card should have been.
Yeah, they have made 4 singular monster card versions of Exodia.
Are you counting Exod? Does that really count?
I guess. Okay, they made another one called Legendary Defender Exodia.
Yeah.
I think I actually have this card.
Wait, now I remember what you're talking about. You're talking about Exodia, what's it called? The one...
Exodia, the Legendary Defender. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Okay.
The one from season 5, yes. I think I actually have this card with me. One of the few cards I actually have with me in real.
Yes.
Neat.
So
I love Gozaburo's ridiculously broken motivations during all this, because basically he comes out into the sky and says, hey, guess what? I'm here, and I'm alive in the computer, and Kaiba, I'm going to steal your body, except no, I'm not. I don't actually want to do that. I want to blow up the world instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something might have gone wrong in the upload process, and his brain got corrupted, because none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense, and the strategy he's got going on here makes no sense. He says that he spent hours coming up with his strategy. Bitch, you had years! What the fuck? I don't... The timeline in this show is weird. I'm fairly certain Kaiba has only known Yugi for a year at this point.
Yeah.
Probably about that, yeah.
So, it's been at least a year for Gozuboro to come up with a way to fuck with Seto, specifically with Exodia, and this was the best he came up with. Painful choice, summon Exodia Necros, punch good. That's his strategy.
And so Kaiba comes up with this thing. He plays a card, removes the fucking spell, the 5 pieces from his graveyard, and then
really? Oh, there we go.
Okay,
sorry,
he removes...
I thought my internet died. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
he removes the 5 pieces
of the game. By this point in the game, there were dozens of cards that could pull cards out of the graveyard. Like, not summon them to be usable, but, like, banish them is the word they came up with years down the line. And Kaiba plays one of those, and it takes the Exodia pieces out of the graveyard, and then Zombie Exodia becomes mortal again, but not super powerful. Hello? What the fuck?
What is going on?
Joe has all this background noise. I think
Who's a
Exodia
robot?
Exodia just obliterated him.
Joe, what the hell are you doing?
Joe?
Joe?
Hello? My computer does this thing where... My computer does this thing where it decides... My computer does this thing where it decides it wants to disconnect every single thing from my computer for no reason.
Oh, that happens. I
know how to fix that.
I think one of my ears is bleeding. Like,
I know how to fix that. Just turn off. Basically, there's a setting in the device manager that allows the computer to disable USB devices to save power. Turn that off.
Yeah, I have to do that periodically because every time Windows updates, it decides to reset those. Because I don't know why Windows. Why do you think that?
Why is Audacity frozen now?
Oh no! Oh no! We need that! Oh no! We need that!
Well, at the very least, Craig hasn't fucked off yet. So.
Everybody, stop talking until Joe figures this out.
Okay, so where do I go in Device Manager?
Device settings. Oh right, you have to manually select every device individually and go to the power options.
Oh.
I mean, do this later, I guess.
Yeah,
it seems to be working now.
For now, we're near the end.
We are?
Oh, okay,
shit,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gozuboro's an idiot, and so Kaiba just takes Exodia pieces out of the graveyard, and Necros...
And it becomes a 0/0 Nilla and dies.
Yeah, so Necros, for some reason, becomes regular Exodia, but not indestructible. So Kaiba, this is probably a moment he's dreamed of all his life, that he finally gets to use the Blue Eyes White Dragon to blow up Exodia. And also, his dad is there and also being blown up.
Yeah.
So,
it's like a 2-for-1.
I swear to God, he probably has dreams like this. He's probably already had dreams like this. Blowing up Exodia and his dad at the same time. He's like,
yes.
Fuck yeah, I just destroyed everything I've ever been afraid of at the same time with my dragon that is also my girlfriend, but we don't know that yet.
I honestly, I absolutely hate this duel in a way but it's perfect for Gozuboro because all he does is he just fucking makes you put the Exodia cards in the graveyard, and then everything from that point onward is just power up Necros, power up Necros, power up Necros.
Every turn he just says he draws a card. I don't even know why he's bothering.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, potentially, maybe if he had drawn something else besides Painful Choice on his first turn, maybe we would have gotten to see him play fucking Chess Archfiends or something.
Don't worry, we're going to see that later.
Yeah.
We'll see those later, but not here.
Anyway, so...
And fucking... Yeah, the duel sucks, but I like the last turn anyway, at least. Kaiba blowing up Exodia and his dad, and then...
His dad turns into a fucking... His dad turns into, fucking...
Explodia?
No. What am I thinking of? Fucking, Fuck.
The devil?
Fucking name is... Planet-eating guy from Marvel.
Galactus?
Yes, he
Galactus?
turns into Galactus from the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh,
yeah, Fart
Cloud?
Oh yeah, Fart Cloud Galactus. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series came up with a much better name, Explodia.
Nice.
Anyway, I love when he
so-
turns into the big demon. It's beautiful. And then he
Yeah.
tries to, after he loses, he just decides, fuck it, I'm going to kill you anyway, Kaiba. And he just, like, assaults him. But then Noah comes back.
And then a Metroid countdown happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Because
while this is going on.
Because
Yeah,
Noah
what?
set a satellite to blow up the base.
And then immediately regretted it.
Yeah, and then, but too late, Merrick decided to destroy the controls, so now they can't do anything.
I love
Yeah,
that.
okay,
Marek
so
literally just
Gozaburo-
shows up. Marek just literally shows up for
Gozaburo-
one episode just to destroy the controls so that they can hurry up and get out the virtual world already.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Gozaburo had already set the satellites to blow up the world, I guess, and then Noah set them to blow up here, and then Merrick broke it because he was bored.
Yes.
Because wouldn't you be bored if you were just sitting on a blimp and this was happening and you had no
Yeah,
idea?
28, 24 episodes of nothing.
Yeah. And just, like, Merrick, like, do you think the Millennium Rod has a vibrate setting?
God damn it, Josie.
It has a spike
No, but it
in
does
You
have
don't want to do that.
but the Millennium Rod does have a destroy robots setting because he does that
Why
a lot.
does it have we didn't mention it when it happened. When he tries to stab Odeon, and earlier in the show, and earlier in the flashback when he stabbed his dad, like, okay, so apparently you can take the head of the Millennium Rod off of the rod, and it has a spike in it.
Yes.
Why though? It already has a spike at the
Spike.
end.
No, you
The-
take
the-
the end
end-
off, and it has a spike under the end.
The end of the rod is already pointy. Why does it need a different
But
pointy?
it makes it pointier.
What is the point of this? Why can't the pointy bit already
Look,
be
you don't
the
want
sharpness?
people accidentally stabbing themselves with the end of it, do you?
In order to use the Millennium Eye, you need to gouge your eye out, Liam.
That is a true statement.
I mean, it's supposed to be like a third eye, but that's not how Pegasus uses it.
No, because a ghost from the future.
So does
told
that
him
mean
to.
you have to get? So does that mean to use it like it's intended, you have to gouge out your frontal lobe?
Yes, obviously.
Oh, that's even worse. How does that work though? Because the ancient Egyptians didn't know that's how the brain worked. They thought that the brain was just the organ that produced mucus.
True fact.
All the more reason to gouge it out.
Yeah. Don't
Oh,
need
God.
any mucus.
Well then.
So yeah.
That's
So
something. Wait,
Noah is
no,
busy
I
getting
just
everyone
thought
out.
that if we replace the mucus organ with a thinky organ, we can make it even better.
Yeah, now you can read people's minds with your nose. Well, look
You
at
can
that.
smell what people are thinking.
Oh God, this
Yep.
is great.
So anyway,
Anyway,
Noah regrets
so,
it, goes back into the robot, saves everyone, and then goes and stops Gozaburo from escaping or killing Kaiba or whatever, and then
Yes.
they blow
Yeah.
up and everyone dies. And
And then Dan Slott ripped it off for Spider-Man One More Day. No, not One More Day. What's it called? Better Spider Superior Man.
yes, but before this happens, just before this happens, while the missiles are impacting the Earth, Kaiba smashes this button on the blimp, and then it turned into a jet rocket and flies
Yes.
away at the speed of light. And it was so epic. I was
Apparently
like,
the
"Yeah,
question
Kaiba jet
even
blimp."
more. Like I'm fucking livid about this shit because in the last
blimp has been a
one
jet
episode
this
before
entire
or whatever.
time.
No, Liam is talking now. Liam is ranting about blimps now. You guys told me, when the duel ring came out of the top of the blimp, there's probably just a little alcove or something. Explain how there's an entire jet inside that.
Liam,
The jet was the part at the bottom. It's just a jet. It's
Yeah.
a secret jet.
Liam.
It was folded up.
It was a secret
Fuck
jet. Liam,
I mean, you watch the episode, right?
This
There's
jet
a whole
was not a
transformation
pepperoni
sequence.
secret.
Liam, they use trading cards as shuriken. The physics of this reality don't work.
Yeah, remember he blocked the bullet with his card? I mean, are you really...
Fuck that, he stabbed people with the cards.
Yeah, like... Is this really what you're gonna take offense to?
Physics in this world are not broken. They just simply do not.
Yeah.
They do not physics in this world.
So
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that the defining characteristic of this reality is that they settle disputes with trading cards, because there is so much more wrong with this reality.
So anyway,
But
all the
anyway,
main characters,
yes.
all the main characters escape on the jet. Gozaburo and Noah and the Big Five die in the explosion, so we never have to talk about them again. All is well in the world.
They were erased after they lost because Noah was like, you know what?
Oh yeah,
I'm
he
bored with you
deleted their
guys
data,
now.
didn't he? Yeah.
He put them in the recycle bin, and the recycle bin exploded. So
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
they're all dead now.
Yeah.
Never have to talk about them again.
Yep, the season ends with Mokuba throwing a flower that apparently the blimp just had a flower on it.
And apparently
And
an
he-
open window he could throw it out of, even though it
Throws
didn't
the-
look like it had an open window.
You know, you
Yeah.
can't have open windows on a plane, Mokuba. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mokuba?
Yeah.
Physics
So
don't work here. Anyway, he
just-
throws a flower on into the ocean, and the last thing we hear is Noah repeating, "I am a human, not a robot man."
I love how perfectly filler this is, because the whole season, it starts with them on the blimp, on their way to the Battle City Finals, and then it ends with them on what's left of the blimp, leaving to go to the Battle City Finals in literally the exact same physical location. None of this mattered at all. It's brilliant.
Like, literally, you could
For
skip
a
this
few-
whole thing and it wouldn't matter at all. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, like for a few minutes of the opening of the next episode, Mokuba has a moment. He's like, I gotta.
Mokuba is a moment.
I gotta
Mokuba's
live
just
my life.
perpetually having a moment.
I gotta live my life for my robot brother who's not real anymore, I guess. And also, I think Tristan's got some brain damage forever.
He already had brain damage. That's not
Yeah.
surprising.
He was already Tristan, but I think now he's just permanently in monkey mode.
Good.
Because when he was a robot monkey, he would randomly just talk like a monkey sometimes. He would make ook noises.
Oh yeah. They made a big deal about how he was getting more and more like a monkey with like every minute.
And now that he's a real boy again, I've watched a couple episodes in now, and again, I have seen the whole series like 3 times. Apparently, he continues to make monkey noises periodically for at least a couple more episodes after this, maybe forever.
Nice.
In Duel Links, he plays mostly monkey-based cards rather than the robot cards that he was playing in the actual episode that he played card games in. So I guess going forward, his brain is overwritten with monkeys. Monkey
Yeah.
monkeys.
Good.
Ookie.
I wonder if he's a monkey now in his wet dreams.
I sure hope so.
Apparently, okay, so they had flashbacks in the virtual world arc where they were caught in time loops reliving previous moments of their lives, and apparently Tristan was just a monkey in his memories now.
Yeah.
Like, I think Tristan's self-image of
I
himself
want to
is
see. I want to see his perspective of fighting off the ghouls as a monkey.
Yeah.
oh my
That
god.
would have been great.
Tristan's action scenes in this show are actually really cool. Imagine him as a tiny robot monkey. Oh man.
Yeah.
There were so many missed opportunities. Imagine if they'd actually, like, had the entirety of those fight scenes. Imagine if Merrick had actually been in the virtual world arc and it was stripped of his magic bullshit and had to fuck around like everyone else did.
Well. What a shame.
Oh,
well,
fuck,
we'll be seeing more. We'll be seeing more of Merrick and the
I had
others
something
next
else.
time.
There's like a scene where Joey is interacting with Mai in like a flashback or memory or something. It's not real. She's not wearing lipstick in one shot, and it's real weird. Makes her look younger.
So yeah, we'll be seeing more of all of them next time when we talk
Yeah.
about the
All
rest of
them
season
next
3.
time.
Yeah, the Battle
Oh,
City
yeah, the
finals
rest
for
of
real
se-
this time.
The rest of season
Yay!
three, the
The
finals.
actual ending. Woohoo!
Hail Shuma!